finalized the discussion or the negotiations with the taxi company. But they are very much an advocate, Chair, for the use of accessible because it fits the service that they're already providing. In terms of the issue of priority, would it bump other items within the priority list? Honestly, I do not know that answer at this time. It'd be something that would be part of our discussion. But I think it's an important piece that we do provide the accessible service. And just to put it in context, once again, we're looking at a very narrow number of, less 3 to 5 a day, of which if we had an accessible request, I suspect that might be if once a week, just to put that in context of the numbers we're looking at.
All right, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Dudas.
Thank you, Chair. I just really quickly wanted to chime in. I'm very interested to see how this pilot goes. There's a strong demand for it. I think it was a couple of years ago that I actually did an overnight shift with a paramedic team, just so I can get a bit of a firsthand experience about what they go through. And I remember there was about 3 calls that night, and it was a busy night where we were called out to situations where, I'm no health expert, but these folks could have easily hopped in a cab and gotten to the hospital. The offloading would have been much quicker. They would have gotten the help they needed. And the paramedics on site recognized that, but they were in a situation where they were required to load them into the ambulance and tie up the resources and then wait with them at the hospitals for a period of time. So I think that this is an outside of the box way of looking at this. I think that there's certainly a need for an alternative to get folks the help they need urgently and to get them to hospitals when they require to do so. I'm interested to see how this pans out and if this frees up our paramedics to get to the essential calls they need to be at. So thank you for this, and I look forward to seeing what the outcome of this pilot will be.
Thank you, Councillor. I think, before waiting for the 2024 annual report to come out at some point in 2025, I work with the GM in chief, and we'll figure out a way next year at some point to provide maybe a semi-annual update on this particular item. I like when there are new initiatives that we get an update sooner rather than later to see how things are going and provide input if necessary. But I think the comments and questions today have been very helpful and useful, and thank you to you both for the overview today. So seeing no other hands, we will move on with the rest of our agenda, which is not much left. So thank you to you both. Item 8, notices of motion. Are there any notices? Seeing none. Any inquiries? Seeing none. Any other business? Seeing none. Before we adjourn, I'll just let you know our next meeting of this committee is scheduled for December 1st. At that meeting, we will consider the 2024 draft budget for this committee, which covers all services within the Emergency and Protective Services Department. Unless there's an emergency, we will only deal with the budget. All other matters will be pushed to January. So I look forward to seeing you on December 1st. And given that the business of this meeting is now concluded, we are adjourned. Thank you.